Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's so good to have you here. So today we are going to learn how to make a malted chocolate chip cake. This cake is not just delicious, it is super moist and it is sticky. It doesn't come cheap, but it's totally worth every dime you pay to bake this cake. So let's get baking. In a bowl, whisk together the flour, baking powder, and then we have your granulated sugar before you add your malted chocolate. This cake is strictly for chocolate addicts, but if you're not so much into chocolate, I suggest that you substitute this malted chocolate powder with malted milk powder. I specifically use the Ovaltine brand because they make both malted chocolate powder and malted milk powder, which you can see the picture. You can get it from the nearest store or from the market that is close to you. So stir all this together. Avoid exposing your malted chocolate powder or milk powder to air once you measure it out, because when you expose them to air they tend to clump together and becomes too sticky to work with, which will create lumps in your mixture. You're going to see that in mine because I kind of made that mistake. This means you must work fast immediately you measure out all your ingredients. So all done with the dry ingredients, and we're moving over to the liquid ingredients, which is basically your egg, your melted butter, your milk and vanilla flavor. When dealing with melted butter, it's best that you leave it to cool down before you pour it into the mixture. However, if your melted butter is still hot or warm, I suggest you start with mixing the melted butter with the milk so that the milk can cool it down before you add your eggs. Make a well in the center of your dry ingredients and add the milk mixture to the flour mixture. I suggest that you add everything at a time. I had to add mine in bits because I was working with a lot of mixture using a small bowl and I didn't want them to overflow. If using an electric mixer, just beat until well combined. Well, I'm still using my whisk, so I'm just going to gently beat them until well combined. This is my best-selling cake, and now you have a chance to grab the recipe for free. This measurement of recipe bakes 24 cupcakes, but feel free to bake using whatever cake tin or cake wrapper that you have, be it a loaf pan and the rest of them. I warned you about exposing your malted chocolate, and this is what you get when you do that. But not to worry, this is the time to add our chocolate chips. I'm really in love with chocolate chips. I have loads and loads of them in my house. So when you add your chocolate chip, you stir them together. Like I said in my last video, when you're working with a thick batter, you don't need to dust whatever filling you're adding to your cake with flour, because it's still going to retain or hold its shape and it wouldn't sink at the bottom of the cake, just like this. So divide the batter evenly among the prepared muffin cups or whatever baking tin that you're using. I always use an ice cream scoop because it's easy to use, and that's just how I feel anyway. It is a little challenging to tell when this cake is properly baked because it's moist and sticky, and no matter the stage it is in the oven, once you insert a toothpick in the middle of the cake, it's still going to come out sticky. So I suggest that you gently press your finger on at the middle or at the center of the cake and watch it bounce back up. If it doesn't do that, please return it to the oven. You're not done baking, else your cake is going to sink in the middle once you're done baking. And also, this cake shrinks in size just a little when you're done baking, so do not fret. It is still perfect, it's still delicious. So thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something new. So do not forget to subscribe to this channel to get more baking tips. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.